doing.
That's
You're not happy with your life. Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Deep Drop. This is a fishing podcast. I'm Luke McCredden. Adam Ring is with me and adds, that's short and sharp. That is a short, sharp intro because I just want to get to you. I just want to get to you so you can lay it out on the line. What the hell is The Deep Drop all about, my friend?
The Deep Drop is like fishing on Melbourne Cup Day, where you open up the pod straight out the gates and see way too much in front of you and go, do I continue with it? But once you get stuck into it, you're like, yeah, I'm glad I did, and I'm glad I was able to grind through it because at the end of the day, it was fun.
But there was a lot there.
Oh, there was a lot. and a lot hit you early. You're just like, oh, I don't know if I'm up for this right now.
But the weather's so good that you continue. Yeah.
You continue. And then you're always glad that you did.
I see that.
So thank you to everyone that sticks around, whether it's been from episode 1.
Yeah.
Or we're now into the 110s, aren't we?
We're at 111 tonight. And
there you go.
I just had a little moment during the week that I thought, wow, I'm so grateful for our listeners and proud of The Deep Drop. We had a listener reach out this week and say, love the show, which is always makes you feel good. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
I've gone back and started again at number 1.
Wow. That's an effort.
That's amazing. That's like, you know, a few years after you've watched Breaking Bad, you go back and watch it again?
Yes. Yeah, I'm actually doing that with Walking Dead at the moment.
Actually, yeah.
100%.
So there's Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, and The Deep Drop.
It's
in the same conversation. Same thing.
Same, but different.
So thank you for that. That's an amazing, that's sensational. Be interesting to go back.
Well, to that listener that reached out, once you're a few episodes into the older stuff, hit us up. I want to know if it still holds up.
Yeah, mate. Because what did we say? And I should have had a look at this before, but episode 1 was 20.
Well, the format was completely different.
2022. Yeah, I mean it's a lifetime ago.
I know.
I mean, Cup Day was a lifetime ago, and it was last week.
Yeah, we were just talking about that off air before we turned the microphones on. I'm like, it wasn't Cup Day last weekend.
Yeah,
it actually
was.
The last, yeah, fuck, that's too hard to think about. That's how good I'm going this week. Fuck.
In fact, that's the Deep Drop wrap up right there.
Yeah, correct.
So no, but great point. Thank you everyone for coming along for what is a bit of a ride. It's a journey, the Deep Drop. It's not your average talk show. Certainly not an average talk show. But yeah, we have fun with it. We've had plenty of years in the industry ads, which we're very grateful for as well. So all sorts of different levels of retail, wholesale, media, tackle.
We're still grinding away at it.
Still doing it, still loving it. And why wouldn't we? Because it is such a great, it's just such a great industry and a great category of lifestyle. I think it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
And then we get to talk about it every day.
Which is even more fun. The conversations that come up out of it.
Yeah. This isn't I don't think about the Deep Drop production as work. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. This is the unwind from work. This is where I get to break down all the little bits and pieces I've heard.
I thought you were going to say
week
you break down, like you have a breakdown, because sometimes you do have a breakdown.
Sometimes. We'll record one day.
It
might be our last episode ever.
I reckon you've had the introduction, like you've started a bit of a breakdown, in a show, and you've pulled it together when we've talked about.
It's seriously it's the most stressful part of. I've said it before, and it hasn't changed. Trying to come up with a different version of what this pod is about every week is stressful, and I'm starting to run out because I'm leaning on like personal experiences now.
But that's the beauty of it. You'll never run out. And this is what we hear from our friends on Instagram and listeners all the time is there's always new things that pop up or new of the old, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Versions of just new inventions of old fishing techniques and tackle. And this is why it's so good. Your introductions, you might think you're scratching around trying to find something, but you always come up with something.
Well, thank you, because I feel as though I'm slipping.
No, no.
But it's okay. I'll get a second wind. I'll be right.
Like, this is a safe space, Ads. If you slip, me and our audience and our family will pick you up, my friend.
It makes me feel warm. It makes me feel comforted and warm and confident. And you know what, Luke? I think I can go on. Let's go. Let's get into another pod. Let's go.
Let's do this. Let's
go.
Speaking of warm, pretty happy to see some warm weather. We went early. About a month or so ago, we went early and said the warm weather's here.
Yep.
And it turned to shit for the next 3 weeks. But it's feeling good. It's feeling like there's plenty of warm weather. Now, if you're tuning in from WA, Queensland, hello everyone in those areas, but you're probably not.
Us.
This isn't super relatable for you guys because you've always got nice warm weather.
Yeah.
But
like your overnight temperatures are what we call a fucking good day.
That's right. Yeah. So just give us a break and let us just enjoy this sunshine for a moment. But no, it's good.
And for those in Tassie, suck shit in your cold shithole. Just saying.
Fucking brutal coming from Melburnians, because reality is we're not far off their temperatures most of the year.
No, we're not. I shouldn't be so mean.
Oh my gosh! But it's not even just air temp Ads. It's the water is changing over and turning over and picking up temperatures and making fish do things. And we're seeing what is, I guess, a really solid. Oh,
you're kidding me.
I thought we changed out these phones. No? Okay, well, yes, you are, I guess, on the air. I mean, it's not a really talk. How you go?
It's me.
What? Are you in the car?
Driving. I'm just driving. I'm out and about. Hey, don't forget to talk about the merch,
yes.
right?
No.
Merch. It's good for the brand.
Okay, thank you. Whew. In the car. That's a
bit keen on it keeps going with the merch thing. Like,
what I want to know.
Can't the brakes?
Yeah, I know. I give that a break, but it's probably fair. The deepdrop.au is the website Ads where you can check out all the podcasts and all the information, but also get yourself some merch while you're there because
have a look at the merch. There's a solid combo there. It's worth a look.
Absolutely. Well, you thought combos were rods and reels. No.
We're changing shit up. It's not just rods and reels. Just go and have a look. You'll see.
Go and check it
out.
out.
Won't be disappointed.
Thanks to everyone who have picked up some the hat and the stubby holder and are loving some of the photos and videos that are getting sent through. There was one that we shared just the other day, and it was just a bit of a panning shot of a beer in a stubby holder and washing down the boat, and I'm like, yeah, fuck yes, that's what.
There's something magic about these stubby holders, Luke. I've said it before. I just want to remind the punters out there. There's something special about these stubby holders. Every beverage tastes sweeter.
So much sweeter.
When it's sitting in a bright green stubby holder.
Yeah. No, it's well said, mate. No, what's well said. I mean, I've got one happening right now, and
I love it.
It's still cold. It's still, got that right amount of sort of, fizz and just,
it's a comfortable hold, isn't it? Yeah. It was a pleasure, that sip, wasn't it?
It was just enjoyable. And it's just when I thought, I can't remember the Deep Drop Instagram account. Doesn't matter. It's on the stubby holder.
Glance at the beer, bang, there it is.
The deepdrop.au. Thank you very much, everyone, for getting involved. I do have a question about management. How does management know we're recording? Have we got an insider? Is there someone working in the building that's going, they're on? Ring them, because this isn't a live talkback show. Fucking hell!
I think I know what's going on.
What?
Well, clearly you're the favourite child, and what do many parents these days? I must admit, I'm not one of them, but many parents these days have got that like 360 app thing, where they track their kids on their phone. You've been bugged, my friend.
Is that what's happening?
I reckon he is tracking everywhere you go. He wants to make sure, so he knows when you're in the studio.
Well, that's a bit creepy, a bit frightening.
It is, I wouldn't. And I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Does that mean he knows everywhere that I go?
Yes.
Yes,
it does.
That's proper frightening. Fuck. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, hello. We talk about this, but we really do need to change this phone because I'm not quite sure about it.
Unplug the bastard.
Yeah, we should just throw it out. Yep. What's going? You're still in the car. What is happening?
Yeah, driving. driving.
Oh, good tunes in the background.
Well, exactly, and that's what I think you guys should make sure you talk about. It's such a fucking banger of a playlist.
That is a fair call. We probably haven't spoken about the. Hang on, I need to hang this up because that is very loud. Thank you.
At least he's pumping it.
That was a good tune.
At least he's pumping it.
The Deep Drop Fishing Tunes playlist on Spotify ads. I'm not even saying this. This is legit. It is the most played playlist on my Spotify account because it is just jam-packed full of bangers, belters.
Yeah, well, a carefully curated list of tunes for the avid angler that listen to this podcast. You and I spent hours trying to work out the perfect arrangement.
Curation is a great way to put it.
We've had a dip. Listen, we haven't updated for a while, but you know why? We don't have to.
No, but we're open to it.
It's pretty close to perfect, but we'll take requests.
Yes. We have added a few here and there upon request, so we're completely open to that. Get over and check it out yourself. And
have a look. It's worth just put it on in the car, crank it to 35.
On the boat.
And just be prepared
to not be able to turn it off.
There'll be some
moshing. There'll be some crap. And I want to know if that, like, estuary anglers, nice peaceful estuary environment. I want to hear it cranked, so you can hear it down one whole arm of it, like East Gippsland estuaries.
That's right. All of East Gippsland to hear the Deep Drop Fishing Tunes.
So Deep Drop Fishing Tunes. It is a curated, well said, Adam, music playlist that is, I think you're going to enjoy if you like a bit of solid rock. So anyway, check it out. Enjoy. Absolutely, you will enjoy it. Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, can we make this the last one? Because this is getting a little bit... I don't know, I'm sick of this phone. That's what it is.
Yeah, so I've had enough.
Yeah, what's going on now?
Oh, yeah, me again.
Yep.
I was just thinking, the other bloke that's in there, Aaron.
No, you mean Adam.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Oh, now
he
come on.
keeps banging on about snapper still. Is he fucking catching any? I mean, fuck.
Okay.
Come on.
How long does it
Two
take?
things. Hang up so we can get into the segment. You'll find out. And two, hope you get caught on your phone, you flog.
I just hung that up because I didn't want that to
good.
get violent. Wow, there's some tension there. But I guess...
Lucky you hung up. I was ready to go.
I know.
I was ready to go.
I could sense that. It was time to end that. I'm officially pulling that off the hook. Maybe you used to do that in the old days. Take the phone off the hook if you didn't want to be able to ring her.
Pull it out, smash it,
do
whatever you need to do.
That is happening. In the meantime, can we request a new updated phone in here? What? I mean, landline?
Who has it?
What is it?
Surely that office is the only one that has a landline in the whole country right now.
Australia, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point about Snapper, he has been riding you hard about it. Yes. What I want to know is, do we have Snapper Diaries number 3?
Yes, we do. And, let's just cast our minds back. Cast our minds back to Melbourne Cup Day. So it was a solid Tuesday. The weather, the forecast couldn't have been better. It was forecast for light winds, was going to be warm, and I thought, I actually spoke to you the day before, so the Monday, and said, I feel good. I feel pretty good. So Ricketts was the plan.
Yes.
And I felt good. I thought this is what's going to happen. I was going to get one today, like a real one.
Yeah.
Had a tide change from memory. Top of the high was about 6:30. So I was going to get that beautiful run out tide. I was going to fish in shallow, and everything went according to plan. Found where I wanted to go, found it straight up. It was where I wanted to go in Snapper Diaries number 1, but had a bit of anyway, found it, got it, put the yak in, got a park easy, paddled out, and I was greeted to about 6,000 Melbourne boats lined up in the 6 to 8 metre line from Ricketts Point to Blackrock. And I'm not going to lie, Luke, my very first thought was, fuck this, I'm going home.
And I'd like to say that that's fair, but please tell me you soldiered on.
No, I soldiered on. So I thought, I'm already out here. But I'm not going to lie, I didn't know where to start. There was that many boats and kayaks. I wasn't the only kayak out there, but there was that much traffic on the water. It was tough to try and line up any sort of distance drift, which didn't concern me too much because I've found since having a crack at the snapper in the yak this season that big, long, sweeping drifts haven't been my jam. I like to be able to sound a few fish and I'll just circle back and work the same drift line 10, 12, 15 times, depending on if I'm picking up fish or keeping an eye on the sound and seeing what's happening. So I was able to find pockets, but I just want to say, first off, actually, I'll wait. I'll give you the snapper diaries and we'll get into this.
Okay.
But I found some fish on the sounder. That wasn't too much of an issue. I got a fish early. I got a fish within the first half a dozen casts. It was the best fish I've caught for the season. It would have been nudging that 50 centimeter mark. So, like, it was awesome to catch a snapper that pulled drag multiple times.
Okay.
So I was happy. No, I was happy, and I thought, okay, this still could be it. There wasn't a lot of activity going on. I saw a few people pull in a few pinkies, but just as I got settled, a lot of the boats started to move.
Right.
Because by this stage, the sun was well up. I got on the water about 7 o'clock. By this stage, the sun was well up. People were starting to move, which sounds like that would be a good thing. A little bit daunting.
Yes.
When there's fucking boats. And listen, everybody was awesome. I did not come across you would think sitting on the water in a yak, the pristine conditions, it would just be an absolute shit fight. Everybody was super respectful. I didn't get swamped. But I think maybe because you couldn't travel too fast in any sort of, without hitting anyone. Yeah.
Bit of real talk though. Are there moments like that are a bit like, oh Jesus, like I'm not feeling great about
There was, oh no, I won't say I never felt like it was dangerous, but there was a couple of times where I thought, I hope that guy can see me.
Yes.
Now they all did, and like I said, everybody was pretty good. They all did slow down. I didn't get swamped but anyway. I got that one fish that was really good, and then it was pretty quiet. I got a few other bumps and knocks. I dropped 2. I think I may have had another semi-reasonable fish, but I knew as soon as I started winding that it wasn't hooked. It was just holding onto the tail. So that lasted about 15 seconds. A few small pinkies and bits and pieces. But listen, got one good fish.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, I'm thinking about throwing in the towel, and I'm gonna need
Hang
you,
on.
Luke.
Hang
no,
on.
no, hear me out. Not for the fishing. But actually, no. Before we go, because it's gonna get lengthy.
Okay.
I know you fished on the same day.
I did.
I think I know you had a similar but different experience to me. Can you please tell me your story before we break this down, because it needs discussion?
Okay. Well, mine was a very cruisy sort of morning. It starts of the day. It was beautiful. It was not a public holiday where I live. So, dropped the kids at school and just had a really cruisy, slow start in the morning. Thought I'll chuck the kayak in the water and, 9:30. Wasn't worried about trying to be early or anything. I had the tide that I was looking for anyway, so it was kind of fine. But it was no stress about it. I was just like, yeah, cool. Like I'll get down there when I get down there. So it was a good feeling. Like, sometimes you sort of, fuck, got to be there, like, crack of dawn.
Yeah,
like I need to,
Yes.
No, it was good. And then I got to one of my favourite, because the idea,
you were in the yak as well.
I was in the yak as well. I was in the yak, and the idea was to go and not fish for long. I just wanted to go and pick up a few calamari for a feed. Just get a feed. I hadn't really done a squid session this spring, really, like a proper one, and I just thought I'll go and spend a few hours, fish this tide, and fish this particular area that is solid for them. I knew they'd be there, and I just had to get out there and get a jig in the water, ads. That's where it all unravelled. because when I went down to drop the yak in there was it's near it is at a popular boat ramp, harbour sort of area, but it's not a massive sort of setup. I couldn't even get my car parked. So I don't have a trailer or anything. I just got the yak on the road. I couldn't even pull up to take the yak off, but then subsequently park the car anywhere. So I'm like, fucking hell, like this has never happened. And don't get me wrong, I'll put my hand up and say I did underestimate or even misjudge the fact that it was a public holiday and a lot of people come down this side of the bay, which is that
Especially
Bellarine Peninsula. Yeah. So probably underestimated that a little bit and thought, okay, I can own that. And then thought I went to several locations, which is still going to be an easy enough paddle out to the particular grounds that I wanted to fish. I couldn't even get the car in anywhere to stop and take the yak on. I started at this point having the similar thoughts you did. It's like, fuck it, I'll go home and watch the basketball. But I continued on and found a little sort of, I suppose, a little spot on the side of a road, which was a few K up from where I was, and put the yak in and,
Just didn't feel good about it?
Didn't feel good about it. Managed to find some ground that was, I hadn't fished, but I knew there'd be some squid around. And there were ads, but they were small, and I was angry. I was in a shit mood.
Well, I called you. I'd pulled the yak in and called you the sound of defeat. And I'm not going to lie, it kind of made me feel good because I was kind of a bit raging
chirped you up a bit,
as well.
didn't it? Be honest.
Yeah, because I was sort of raging as well. So it was pretty good to just unleash on everybody on the water verbally to someone who got it at the time.
And then there were just little things that would happen that would just set me off while I was out there, like a wind knot or it's just something little that really fucks you off. And
I cast a lure off very first cast.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Very first one, it got wrapped on the stripper guide, and I just heard it go, and I sailed a 1/4 ounce jig head about 35 meters ahead of me, and I thought, this is not helping my motivation.
Off topic, the longest cast you'll ever do is the one that snaps off.
Bust off. Yep.
They go so much further than you could possibly cast while it's tied on. Anyway, that's another frustration. And then had fucking jet skis pissing around, doing fucking circle work meters away from me. And I'm just like, what are you doing?
That's shit.
Like, you're not happy with your life.
Yeah,
you're out on the bay driving around in circles. What are you even doing? Anyway. The annoying thing was it was a stunning day. It was absolutely beautiful. There was a light sort of nor'easter that was bugger all, and it was actually setting up, some good drifts that weren't too fast in a kayak sort of thing. So, yeah, but it was just...
You got a few?
Ended up getting half a dozen, and it was to the point where, and I think I said this to you on the phone, and I think we've all been there, when we're in that little bit of a negative mindset and you're just like, I just want to catch a couple more, and then I just want to get the fuck out of here.
So I can get out of here.
That's what I did. Yeah. So I got enough for the thought, look, there's a feed in that for the family, and let's fucking move on and go home. And but it wasn't super enjoyable.
No. So my question to you, Luke, and this is now where we get to break this down a little bit, because again, I think it deserves some discussion because it's a real thing.
Okay.
We like to joke about it, but it's actually a real thing. There's just so many people that love fishing.
Yep.
We don't have the fucking facilities to house everybody.
I don't feel like we do.
And I'm not going to lie, for me, and I want people to get in touch. Because I'm not a boat owner. I fish out of a kayak. So I'm mobile. I don't have to deal with boat ramps. Obviously, I don't get the range at what a boat does. But as a boat owner, how do you wake up on a morning like we had on Cup Day and get excited about dicking around at a boat ramp with 5,000 people and then trying to work out where to fish with literally 200 plus boats around you? And I know it's not like that all over the bay. I spoke to a mate who fished off Oliver's Hill. There was heaps of boats around, but there was space.
Yeah, and it's also not like that every day or every weekend. It's obviously, it was a public holiday.
But I also think now, from this time of year on,
if
that weather pops up on a Saturday or Sunday, good fucking luck. And it's so it's not relaxing to me, and this is why I'm thinking of pulling the pin because I know, because I fish on weekends. I've got another trip. I'm gonna just suss out. I've got one more plan.
You got to go again. Well, can I say, and we'll get into the boat stuff too, but you caught a 50-something centimetre snapper.
Oh yeah, it would have been absolute max. It would have been 50.
All right, so what is it that you're going to be satisfied with and be able to ring up management and say, jam this firmly where it needs to go?
Well, I think I am. We've spoken about this on the pod, but every fish has got its. It's just that, to me, a snapper.
3 to 5.
Correct.
3 to 5 kilo.
A snapper is 3 to 5 kilos.
Okay. So anything under is.
And I'm not going to weigh. I'm not going to weigh anything, but I want to be able to hold it up and go. It's 3 kegs, and then I'm done.
You don't know. So
I kind of don't want to catch just one.
No. I'm hearing. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I don't think you should throw in the towel. Not yet. I don't think you can do that after 3 diary entries.
Well, the good thing is, and I want your advice here, because management clearly talks to you. The only time they want to talk to me is to take.
Do you not get daily phone calls?
Nothing. The only time I hear from them is when they're shit canning me on air because they've got you tapped into their fucking phone, watching where you go live. So
do you not get cash bonuses?
0. No. Pretty
Ah.
sure I need to set up a meeting with management.
You don't get gifts regularly?
No, nothing.
Flowers? No. Okay.
No,
That's weird.
Not even a butt dial.
I just
Not even
just
an accidental.
thought that was business wide. I didn't realise I was the only one. That's awkward. Okay. Anyway,
So, moving right along. So yeah, I want to, but it's just I just don't find.
I think you've got it in you. You've got it in you.
I just remembered my point, and my question to you:
Good.
Do I have to knock out snapper like now? Because realistically, I'm going to be able to catch snapper in the yak until March.
Yeah.
Do I have
exactly.
to? Can I have a break?
I think you can.
I'm worried, but I'm worried if I have a break, I ain't going back.
That was my hesitation there. I'm like, but do you just persist and get it done? And look, it may take another 3 diary entries, but I don't want you to. I kind of selfishly want diary entries at least every fortnight.
Well,
until you can
yeah.
go, hey, here it is. Now, also, we've got some great friends, a lot of which have been on the show. You talk about your kayak fishing, snapper diaries, and I suppose that that challenge, your own challenge, but also that sort of unspoken challenge from management. It doesn't say anything about that you have to, or your own challenge doesn't have to be a kayak landed snapper, does it? You just want a solid session on the reds, or are you? Is that where it is for you?
I'm pretty committed. I'm pretty committed to the yak because
what I was getting at is we've had obviously John Didge, Lee Rayner, and these guys are always got the boat there and
I'll 100% jump on and do that. But the challenge for me is I'd love to get a couple of good ones.
Yeah,
out of the yak.
Fair
I'd love to.
Fair enough too. I get it.
And it doesn't have to be this season, but I am.
No, it does.
I am really enjoying the challenge, but I tell you, it killed me seeing that many boats. I'm like, this is.
Yeah, so that's back to that point. The last thing we want to do on this show is discourage people from going out. Ultimately, there's a lot of people, lads, who, the vast majority, it's limited opportunities to get out. And if you've got a public holiday and the weather's that good, I understand why you'd be going.
You got to go.
Yeah.
I still went. But do you think with that many boats in realistically a fairly confined space, it's not like there was 200 boats in a 1 metre square radius patch. It was a line of boats from Ricketts to Blackrock.
Yeah.
But
I think you described it as you could literally just walk down that stretch
easily.
Yeah.
Easily. But it did get me thinking about something very specific. I need you to convince me that many anchors is not having an effect on the fishing.
That's an interesting one. That's
Because
an interesting one.
and there's not fish everywhere. There's definitely patches of fish. Like I said, I sounded out. I did laps of 6 meters, 8 meters. I actually got out to 14 meters at one point when the boat started to thin out a little bit. And there's a lot of barren ground with not much there. But yeah, I didn't have to work too hard to find fish on the sounder.
So the question is around the impact of anchors on fishing. Now, we're talking specifically about snapper in the bay.
Yeah.
I mean, without sort of getting ahead of ourselves, but this is a question that could be thrown out there for...
But this is shallow water too. This is 6 meters of water, 8 meters of water. You can't tell me that 100 anchors...
Throw us a ballpark number of boats, do you think? Realistic. 200?
Yeah. It wouldn't have been hard to find 200 boats.
So we've got 200 anchors, 200 anchor chains.
Yep. And they're constantly up and down because there's always people moving. That's got to be something, doesn't it?
It feels like it should have an impact on the fishing. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels like that if you're dropping just bombs over the side for the, we're talking probably for 7 hours straight in some cases,
and it's
people
in
come
a
and go.
massive, and it's in a massive radius. Like I'm talking boats from, because we're at Ricketts, the edge, there is a marine park there. And I will say that from what I saw, there was no one in the marine park. So
Good.
tip of the cap to everybody.
Yeah.
But the edge of that marine park, 6 meters of water. From 6 to, I'll say 10 meters because it does drop fairly quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally from Ricketts Point to Black Rock.
Masses of boats.
Was just stacked with boats. That's
so
shallow,
do you think
shallow water with bloody massive, with anchor. It has to do something, doesn't it?
So it feels like it should. Like I said, without doing this, having the science or the research behind it. But I'm like, because these fish are, like to think that they're feeding on particular tides and times, and that's why they're the times we go out and fish for them. Are we shutting down that bite? Are we really fucking with it?
Don't know, but it was still getting hits though. Like I could catch pinkies. I got that one good hit. I had a couple of good hits that I didn't convert. So the hits are still there.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it has an effect on those bigger fish. There's definitely bigger fish through there. It's not just pinkies at this stage of the game.
And is it potentially breaking up dense schools of fish? So like when you
it'd have to
drop a rock in a bit of water with a little group of fish there, school of fish there, they disperse really quickly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering whether that happens. And we've all been out there at some stage over the the journey of snapper fishing in the bay where we found just masses like piled up. But I don't reckon that would be easy to find when there's 200, 300 boats around. Splashing up the water, or dropping anchors through the water column, hitting a deck, they would disperse, wouldn't they?
You'd think.
By the way, there's no science behind anything I'm saying, but I'm just...
Well, even not so much disperse, because fish will come back. I just think they go a little bit funny. I don't think...
Well, even if they're still in the area...
Yeah,
but even if they're still in the area, and even if they're still actively feeding to a degree, instead of there being 10 in a school feeding, it's like 1 and maybe 2.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And maybe being a bit cagey and finicky because it's like any minute now their heads might get caved in by a fucking sarker.
Yeah, number 3 sarker.
3 sarker. And they're just constantly looking up, shitting themselves. Whoa, talk about anxiety. Like imagine being a snapper on a peak on cup day and 5-knot winds. You'd just be swimming around just like... just doing that thing like when you're walking around an area where there's swooping magpies.
That's right. Because the one thing you do hear about is, find your own patch of fish. That's not really the easiest thing to do if you're not confident with your electronics or, you're in a smaller boat. Don't particularly want to put in, a 25-kilometre ride on the bay to go and find fish elsewhere, or even if you have the confidence with your electronics. Like I can tell you right now, like off Ricketts Point, you can go and sound around in 8 meters of water, and you don't have to paddle or drive too far to consistently see fish on your sounder.
Yeah.
Push out to 10 meters of water, which is a couple of 100 meters out, and probably not even.
Yeah.
It's barren.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to go, no, I've got to be in there. So I get it. I'm not even blaming the anglers in this case. It's not an angler thing. It's just that area of the bay has fished insanely well through the start of this snapper season. Everybody knows that they're in shallow water from 6 to 10 meters. So they're naturally going to go there. It makes perfect sense why there's that many boats. It's just, there's so many boats.
It's almost like, yeah. So, let's just, the impact of anchors on fishing. Let us know your thoughts on it. And look, there's no right or wrong. We're just curious to know
We
if
don't
anyone...
know.
No, we don't know. We're curious to
know
know if anyone's got any thoughts on it. Does it have an impact? Does it not at all? Is it a really significant impact, do you think? We'll probably never know, really, realistically.
No, we'll never know.
But based on, because there's people that listen that I know that are very, very accomplished snapper fishers, so that they would have seen patterns, and when they might not fish on Cup Day, but you know what I mean? So
and I think they have plan A through to S, so they would be able to find patches of fish, I guess, essentially out on your own. But
fascinating one. Great question.
It has to have an impact. I can't see how it can't. To what extent, I don't know.
Don't know. Okay. I don't mind that. The impact of things on fishing is a good sort of segue. We did speak a while ago about whiting and throwing whiting back. Does it have an impact on the school that you're fishing or whatever it is? And we did get another message on that same sort of topic from the Loose Drag label on Instagram. Thank you very much. The questions were, if you drop a King George whiting once hooked, does it take the rest of the school away? Which we've kind of touched on. But then if you catch and land an undersized King George whiting, do you throw it towards the front of the boat because you don't want it to spook the school at the back of the boat when bait fishing? Obviously, there's a burley pot down there. I think it's another fascinating one. That's the impact of releasing a fish. And almost there's part of that that's almost just a bit superstitious, isn't it? And that's what I reckon it comes down to. I think
agree.
Only a couple of weeks ago, ads that we've spoken about on the show a fair bit of the whiting fishing that you and I have done together. Not only do you drop you probably hook and land.
Every 5 fish.
I was going to say you hook and land one out of every half a dozen. You're dropping them left, right, and centre, and we released a lot that day.
Yeah,
but we didn't even think about it. You just throw it straight back in where you were catching it. It didn't impact at all. But that's one case study sort of scenario.
But also for us, we were drifting, so we were never constantly on the same patch of fish. We had fish holding onto tails. They're not necessarily feeling hooks. But I'm with you on this. I think you've nailed the answer. I don't think it does anything different to throw in a fish up the front of the boat and does the back. It just feels like the right thing
better.
to do.
Yeah, it feels better. So to that particular question, I think that's a great one, and I think it's a
great question.
The answer is if it feels like you're throwing it away from that school, so it doesn't go down there and tell its mates,
then do it for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I love it. Actually, we've got another question that came through from Instagram ads, and if you don't mind, I might just indulge. It's an audio question.
Ooh, hit play.
Sitting here with the fam, we've caught a few snapper, and I'm thinking to myself, how good snapper fishing in Victoria, first of all, with the kids and the misso, and second of all, seals a fisherman's worst enemy in Victoria? Are they the taxman of Victoria? Everyone up north in Queensland has the taxman in shark form, but we have it in adorable fur form. I've just had a seal come up behind where we're snapper fishing, and now we cannot get a niggle after catching quite a few reds. Interesting.
Great one, Harry Taylor on Instagram. Thank you very much for that. First of all, Seals, they're not adorable. They're fucking horrible.
No, they are. They are until they do what they did.
Yes.
Just there.
No, you're right. They are adorable. They're cool, but absolutely nailed it. I reckon, Harry. They are the taxman of the South. Now, don't get me wrong. We do have bronzies and the like that can destroy a catch. Every now and then a snapper or a tuna offshore or whatever it is, but. Not to the extent that Queensland. You're lucky to land a fish these days without
WA,
Yeah. So I think it's a great point, Ads. I think the seal is the southern taxman.
100%. Now, shout out to you, Harry, for just building up a couple of extra brownie points by shouting out the misso and how good it was to be sharing the boat with her that day. So
that
well
wasn't,
played to you, mate.
Yeah, that was well played. Yeah,
Well played.
well done. That's an extra day fishing.
Yeah, for sure, easily.
Yeah.
And some. But I think he's 100% right. They are our version of the taxman.
Mm.
And they can still, in the right situation, scare the absolute shit out of you.
They can, can't they?
Yeah, because you're not expecting it, it's calm, you just hear it come up and blow a bit of air, and you're like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Or they come fanging out from under the boat at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Some of them can be pretty cheeky.
And have you experienced them on your kayak?
I haven't yet. I must
I only
admit, I
just
haven't.
thought of that then. That would be frightening because they're fucking arrogant too.
Actually,
so I wouldn't put it past them to put their fat guts up onto the kayak and tip you out.
Actually, I lie. I have once, but it wasn't in the bay.
Right.
I actually had one come up in a little at Marlow around the islands at the front there. I was in a little back lake, just chucking around for brim, and it was only a little seal. The last thing I expected to hear, and it didn't come to the kayak. I could hear it, and it was at dusk at this point, so it was a little bit daunting. But it was only a little seal. It never bothered me. It never come near me. I didn't catch anything for it to eat, so it wasn't.
No, well, that's because it scared everything off.
I wasn't confident in catching anything afterwards. I'll tell you that much.
Do you know? Because I've got another species that I won't say will steal fish from you, but they can shut down a bite when it comes to squid and whiting, and that is dolphins. Now, I've had many occasions in a similar area to where I took you whiting fishing the other day, Ads.
Yep.
And actually, I had a situation last year where I was in the kayak and they swam under me, and I did shit myself properly because I wasn't expecting it. And they're big, man.
Yeah.
Like
they are big and they're solid. They're solid as shit too.
They're such cool animals, but a big grey thing swims under you.
Yeah, you don't think dolphin. Let's just say that.
Let's just say I was glad I was in the kayak and could wash it easily. But I've had situations, and one that comes to mind, and again, speaking of Didge, who's been on the show and took us out the other day, we were having a fairly solid whiting session, and a pod of dolphins came through the area, and not only did they shut down the bite completely, it was then dead for the next 45 minutes after they moved on. So they can fuck off. So do they fall into the bracket of a? I mean, they're not a taxman as you know as we know it, because that term is comes from the shark tax of them getting their feed while you're fishing as well. Seals do that. Dolphins, I wouldn't say do that. They don't steal from you, but they want. So to Harry's point about that seal showing up at the back of the boat and shutting down a snapper bite, 100% they do. And yeah, I've had that dolphin experience shutting down a whiting bite and squid bite.
I would put seals. Maybe we need to come up with a new name, because taxman is probably giving him too much credit. Because the taxman's kind of like, okay, you got to let the sharks grab a few for the story behind it's pretty cool. Do you know what?
And you also you're not gonna knock back a shark. If a shark goes, I want that, you go, yeah, no worries, mate.
Yeah, no dramas.
If a seal does, you go, oh, fuck off.
Yeah, because the seal's not eating it.
No,
the seal's picking it up, bringing it to the top, sitting at the back of the boat and throwing it around for the next 15 minutes, as if to say, look what I've got.
Do you know what else a shark does? You know what else a shark does, respectfully? Just a clean bite. You keep your tackle, your lures or your hooks and sinkers. I'm not going to bite through your leader. Just let me have that clean bite. You can have the head back, do whatever you want, or half the fish. Seal,
fair bump, play on.
Seal, nah. taking
throw
everything.
it around, hooks
Yep.
in its whiskers,
Hooks in its fucking.
doesn't give a fuck, and it's still playing with the snapper that should have been yours. It shows
Yeah.
you exactly how big or not big the fish
Yep.
was. They're just all round taking the
There's
piss.
a $60 stick bait stuck in its fucking head.
Yep.
You're
and
not
it's
getting
just,
that back. It's
Yep,
busted
it's just
you
like
off.
mine now.
Yeah. So there. Yeah. So what is it then? What's the term we need to come up with for seals? And let's put dolphins maybe into the category less annoying, but can shut a bite down.
I'm stumped on this. I don't know what we call
Yeah.
it. Maybe
It's not
we need
yeah.
to throw that to the punters. Write that down.
Yeah. Okay. So
What label do we give dolphins in? Do we give seals in
Seals.
Victoria?
yeah, I don't want to shit on dolphins. Too
I don't
much, 'cause
think
they're
dolphins.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't think dolphins fall into this category because they don't. As far as I'm aware, they don't. If you're hooked a whiting, a dolphin ain't coming trying to nick it off the hook.
No, that's what I mean. So
shut
they're
down
not
the bite.
they're not taxing you that particular bite,
Yeah,
but
they're just generally being annoying.
they're just in there.
Gracefully annoying.
Gracefully annoying. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So the seal is the taxman of the south, but we feel like they should be labelled something different.
Yeah, taxman's too polite for the seal.
That it is. They don't deserve that sort of respect. Okay. Well, what is that?
We'll sit on that and we'll throw that out.
Yeah,
Throw that out
we'll
to
workshop.
Instagram and let's
Let's
see
workshop it as a family. Everyone, get involved and let's workop it. If you've got an idea of what.
By the time we record next week's pod, let's put it down to let's get a short list, and
Because
we'll see
I
if
reckon
we can
there's
pick one.
Yeah, and there's a few things you could bundle into it that, again, they're not taxing you the catch, but they're annoying the fuck out of you by destroying your gear and taking, lures or whatever. And I would say you could put CUDA into that.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Like offshore. You know how many times you lose jigs because CUDA bite your fucking swivel or something?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. That's right.
fuck off.
Yeah.
Toadies to a smaller
Yeah, but
scale.
I don't know. I still don't think a toady or a CUDA plays in the same pool as a seal. It's a different
They
level
don't
of
shut
rage.
down a bite. I get that, but yeah.
But I can
maybe
deal with
you're
that.
right.
Just don't fuck around and show me what I could have been holding for a photo.
Yeah, nah, fair.
They're taking
Fair.
the piss. They're
Yeah.
literally they're not interested in eating it. At CUDA, you could at least say if they bite a swivel or whatever, they're just dumb. They just
I
think
saw
it's actual
footage
food.
the other day. I should try and find it to share it. And it was something that I'd love to talk to someone who fishes far north Queensland a lot. And because it was underwater footage of a GT, so someone in a boat had hooked a whatever it was, I don't know, tuna or something. I think it was a tuna actually. Bringing it almost to the boat, and a GT appears out of nowhere, big, grabs it, rips it in half, and what was left looked like a shark had just like a shark tax. So I'm wondering, I'd love to put to the far north Queensland anglers, how many times have you been sharked? But it's actually a big fucking GT. Because
is that still annoying,
yeah,
or is it kind of cool?
yeah. I think if you see it, it's cool. You sort of go,
Yeah.
fair. That's cool. It was pretty interesting though. So, I mean, yeah, wow, that's the ultimate tax, man. The GT.
That's the ultimate. Oh, that's
yeah.
yeah.
That's almost
the
double.
Accountant. That's the accountant for the rich and the famous. Like that's
yeah.
the top shelf tax.
So I wonder if is there anything else that has that sort of impact? Certainly in southern New South Wales, Tasmania, Victoria, a seal is a
seal. Yeah.
bastard.
Yeah. Tassie, like they get hammered. Like they got seals,
down
like
Eagle Hawk
enormous
neck.
seals eating 100 kilo plus tuna. Tell me that's not the epitome of I just want to rage quit fishing and annihilate every enormous seal known to man.
The seals down there have identified what a reel sounds like when it goes off.
That's insane.
So they hear a ratchet.
And they're like
They're in the
free
water.
feed.
So it's like they'll be sitting on the rocks because that like you fish very close to all
Yeah.
the rocks and the
That's
cliffs.
insane. That's mental.
I mean that's the next level of. That's just.
Can you
That's not
imagine the
even
anxiety?
tax. That's just theft. You know
Can
what
you
I mean?
imagine
criminal.
the anxiety of a fight on it? Because there's no such thing as getting a 100-kilo bluefin in quickly.
No.
Can you imagine the anxiety the whole time of just thinking, don't get sealed, don't get
Mm.
sealed, and just watching seal after seal slide in
Into
off
the water.
the next rock face, going, oh fuck,
Slide in their fat
They
sort of
stink.
flippers just stink. They stink.
yeah,
There's not much good about. What are they for?
just being annoying.
You know what I'm saying? Food for killer whales. Sweet.
Yeah, nice. I think
Yeah.
it's just the balance. You know, for every good
Yeah.
person you meet, there's 3 annoying ones. I think
Yeah.
that's just nature. It's the
Yeah,
balance.
so it's like there's one good dolphin and 3 shit seals, sort of
we-
thing.
Yeah,
Is that,
Well, we need shit seals to appreciate the goodness in a 100-kilo bluefin.
right? Okay.
If you understand what I'm saying.
I do. It just sucks that sometimes the appreciation of a 100-kilo bluefin gets overshadowed to the point of getting overpowered by the shit.
Yeah.
The shit 3. You know.
But I think you need to experience the shit to highlight
You
just
do.
how good.
That's fair.
Just how
And
good.
I think most offshore anglers, like I said, from that sort of south coast of New South Wales, I mean Montague Island, grew up fishing that place and love Narooma. Still one of my
So you've
favourites.
seen a seal or 67 eat a kingfish.
Oh, mate. Absolutely. I've seen seals take kingfish from a shark, from a bronzy.
Oh, that's a king
The
seal.
arrogance. And you know what, Ads? They're not even, they're New Zealand fur seals. They've come over and taken over. And I'm not, we welcome all our international guests, but
But just keep
they
your
now
stinking
own-
aquatic animals. Just keep them.
Jesus. And they stink. Yeah. I know one person, and there's no photographic or video evidence, but I do trust their word, that has witnessed a killer whale, and I have seen killer whales around Montague Island, that has witnessed a killer whale do that thing where they half beach themselves and just pluck a seal off the rocks.
Nice. We need more of
And
it.
I said, was that one of the most
Just satisfying moments.
satisfying things? And it was the greatest moment of
Yeah.
my life. Yeah, he's married with 3 kids.
One less seal. I get it.
but to say that, that's Attenborough shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
Nature at its finest.
so do we need to, do fisheries need to think about broodstock killer whales and stocking them into areas where seals are?
Listen,
I'm just saying. I'm just
Luke,
saying.
this is what makes the deep drop special. We're about solutions. We said nothing about sensible solutions, but at least
No.
we're offering a solution. So for everything that we whinge about, we'd like to offer a solution.
We've got
Now
a
the
solution.
solution to the southern part of Australia's seal problem is
It's the introduction of more killer whales.
breeding and stocking killer whales.
We set up a
It's
hatchery.
a good start.
We set up a hatchery somewhere, maybe West Coast, Warrnambool-ish.
Yeah, no, happy with that.
Yeah, where we, I guess there's a couple of brood whales that,
Just traveling pen.
yeah,
It's
that
like
just sort of,
it's like SeaWorld but wild. Like just
like a
controlled.
Yeah, exactly. It's
controlled.
like a tuna pen off Port.
Yes, yeah, correct. That's
Lincoln,
exactly
but
what I'm thinking.
multiplied by. It's bigger.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's,
it's bigger.
we want these things to have plenty of room.
Yeah.
None of this SeaWorld pool shit.
No,
And just
we're not
get
going to
'em
train him to
pumping
do
out
tricks.
babies.
We just want more killer whales. We don't need tricks. We just need more.
But no, there is a level of aggression training because it's like we
Yeah.
want them to know that sea seal eats seal. You know what I'm saying?
Seal. Yeah, that's right. Seal's the enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's
And not even
it's a
eat
good
if you're not
start.
hungry.
No, just
Yeah,
fuck
and
up.
even if they're not hungry, it doesn't matter. You don't have to eat it. Just fuck it. Just wipe them
Yeah.
out. Jesus, we're getting a bit dark.
just thin the numbers. No, and listen,
So we
it's- but we offered a solution. And I think that's important to do. It's okay to bring the problem to light. It's even more important to offer a
Yeah.
solution. So we've started workshopping solutions. It's not perfect. I'm not saying it's the answer, but it's a start.
No. And the detail is not our job. It's
No,
the,
that's-
it's the concept that's our job.
Correct.
So, Ads, I'll get you during the week to pen a 1-pager to the VFA,
Yep. Deal.
and we'll get these wheels in motion. So I think that it's good. I think there's something
It's a solid
in that.
start. It's a solid start.
It's a solid start. All right. Well, don't really have much nowhere else to go with that. But that's good. I think ads. We touched on a few things tonight. I love Snapper Diaries. I want to steer you away from hanging up the boots or throwing in the towel, as you said.
Yeah.
Let's get through this. Get back out there is
All
what
right.
I'm saying.
I'll give it another shot.
Give it another shot. Keen to hear from everyone out there on thoughts on the impact of anchors on fishing.
Yep. I'm
Great
genuinely interested by that. It has to make a difference, but I don't know to what extent.
Yep. There's no... Fact of the matter is, seeing the amount of people fishing the other day and on Nice Week, it's sensational. It's the sport that we're in, ads, and it is so good to see so many people out there doing it, and not even just boats. Like the piers are jam packed, and the jetties and that. Amazing, awesome. Don't stop. But we're just curious as to whether or not that is having an impact. Particularly, specifically, we're talking about anchors at the moment.
Write it down for next week. I may have a solution to anchors.
Okay,
we'll cover it next week because it'll take some discussing.
All right. Well, you can write it down. It's your topic.
I won't.
And then, no, you won't. Seals, Taxman of the South. We probably need to come up with a bit of a range name for them.
We feel as though Taxman is too polite. Thank you, Harry, for reaching out. It is a great question, but we feel as though Taxman's a little bit too polite for the old seal. So let's workshop a new name, and we'll launch that at some stage too.
I love it. And in the meantime, VFA will get working through some orca stocking programs.
Yeah, just to control the seal population.
Yeah. Or I mean, a whole another can of worms. Do we release some of them into the rivers to clean up the carp? I don't know.
Listen, killer whales might be the answer. I can't believe no one's thought of it, but that's what we do. We throw ideas around, and let's just see what happens.
Don't question us on the detail. We're just coming up with the ideas. Yeah. All right, ads. Good one. Looking forward to another solid week of hearing some reports. I'm keen to start hearing some tuna reports, and I reckon it's going to start happening. I reckon there'll be some tuna kicking around. They'll be showing up. Get out there and have a bit of a look is what I would suggest if the weather permits, because I think they shouldn't be too far off showing up in some pretty solid numbers. But if not, Jesus Christ, there's some good fishing in all around the country right now.
Well, I've spent the last week in the freshwater areas, and let me just say the freshwater snapper called yellow belly are definitely on and up and about, and that's pretty exciting. It's hard not to tools down and try and work out how to get up here and get stuck into a few yellows. It seems pretty exciting. Yeah, but we'll talk about that because I've got thoughts on that too.
I've got a couple of people we can lean into for some reports on that. We've got good friends of the show, Kate Norman, who's been dominating that particular fishery.
Yep.
She's taken Lee Rayner out to show him the ropes on this particular fish ad. So I'm looking forward to hearing all about that.
That'll be good.
Yeah,
hopefully he's filming that.
There will be footage of that.
Excellent. I'm in. Excellent.
And I hope Lee catches fuck all and Kate just dominates, because she will dominate.
She'll dominate. I
don't mean that, Lee. I hope you go well, mate. All right, good. Well, thank you, and we'll return soon, ads. We've got plenty going on, and look, reality is there's only not long before the end of the year, and we're going to wrap up with a bang. Let's just put it that way.
Yes, we are. The wheels are already in motion. I'm looking forward to it immensely.
All right, thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Peace.